So in this video today, I am going to break down why you keep failing when it comes to maintaining your progress. And if you're like what I used to be like, you probably are always in a yo-yo diet. So this is what I'm going to break down for you. What happens when you think about losing weight, managing your hormones, losing that belly fat, is you put yourself on an extreme diet. What that also means is you're not thinking about it in the long run. You're trying to think about how to get that quick fix, how to see a change in 2 weeks, how to see a change in a month, or even in 2 months' time. But what we really need to do when we're on this journey, we need to think of it as a long-term process. And the reason being, it's not just about your food and it's not just about your workouts. It's not about motivation and it's not about willpower. It's not saying that you just have to do something and stick to it. If it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. So what I'm going to be breaking down today is what we need to be able to see in order to see that change and in order to see that long-term progress. And that is called our shift. So in our freedom formula, what we basically go through is educate you about your food, your workouts, and also work on your mindset. But one thing you need to make sure you're doing is not just going for something generic. You need to have something that is personalized for you. So if you just sign up to like a program or a challenge, what's going to happen is you're going to do something short term. So what happens is you end up wasting money, you end up wasting time, and then you also start feeling like a failure and you think there's something wrong with you and you don't believe you can do it. So that's why in our freedom formula, our first phase that we have is actually called believe. So what this means is that you need to believe that you can do it, and you also need to believe that you're in the best hands possible. So if you were to do this by yourself, what you need to do is to believe that you have got that mindset to be able to work on. And like anything, we never want to just be stuck and be rigid. We want to be really, really open-minded about everything. So that means we're going to be open to being challenged. We're going to be open about making a change. And obviously, if you knew what to do, you would have done it by now, but there's something that's missing and there's a missing link. So what we're going to look at first is going to be the food side of things. What we want to make sure you're doing is that you're not restricting anything. So it means you can eat chocolate, you can eat sugar, and you can eat gluten and dairy if you want to. What works for so-and-so down the road may not work for you. So what you need to be aware of is you need to stop comparing. And this is something which we actually cover in our mindset mastery, just because comparison can either drive us towards our goal or it can pull us further away. So what we want to be aware of are our beliefs that we're saying and what type of language are we using when we're talking to ourselves. Are we constantly putting ourselves down? Are we constantly thinking we can't do something? Are we constantly getting upset if we see the scale weight go up and then we get very excited if we see it come down? That basically means you're reacting on emotion versus working on a scientific method and working on logic. So when you're on a diet mode, if you've ever done something before, what that means is you probably restricted, you would then see progress, then you'd get very excited because you've seen the scale weight drop, and then you overindulge and then you go back to square one. You then think you've not got any motivation, you then think you've not got any drive, and you don't think you've got any discipline. So this is where you get stuck. And then you start scrolling on social media, you see someone's amazing before and after, you see that so-and-so tried something like keto and intermittent fasting, and then you start your journey again, but doing a new method. In reality, what you haven't done is given your process enough time, and you've just tried to jump at things too quickly. You've seen someone in the gym working out and you're trying to copy them. You've seen a new workout plan that's been handed out on socials, and then you start following that. And what we want to do is to go back to your initial stage of believing, but we also want to break it down and make it super, super basic. So when it comes to your food, there is not going to be any restrictions. You're going to enjoy eating things in moderation, and you're going to start learning about your body. So knowing what works for you and not what works for Priya down the road. What you then want to do is nail that, and you want to be super, super consistent. There is no point throwing around workouts, doing crazy HIIT workouts, going running, joining the next challenge. You really want to nail that consistency, and you want to do it really well. And then what you want to start doing is you want to start building on your foundations. So that's what we have, is actually our second phase. We build. So we start from the bottom and then we work our way up. So when you're building, a bit like if you're building the foundation for a house, you're having different layers and you're having different structures. So you're building your base, and then we're building the next level, and then we're building the next level. What you'll see is this all will take time. It's not going to happen overnight. And it's probably taken you years to get to where you've got to. It's not taking you days, it's not taking you months. You haven't just woken up one morning and noticed you've got a big belly. This has all been happening for a long amount of time. So you've got into bad habits, and what we now need to do is to make new habits. So we're not breaking those ones down or saying they're bad and we can't get out of it. We're trying to reframe our thought process, and we're trying to really work on our mindset. So that's why constantly we are going to be dipping into mindset. What are the struggles that you have? Is it that you can't leave food on your plate? Do you have to finish everything that's on there? Is it that you can't say no? Is it that you give into peer pressure left, right and centre? You think you want to commit to something, and then your friends invite you to bottomless brunch. You've got no idea what to do. So then you go into the all or nothing mindset. So when it comes to the mindset side, this is going to be the glue that holds everything together. It's not that you're not determined. It's not that you're not committed, but you haven't got that right piece of the puzzle to be able to manage everything long term. So when we're doing our mindset mastery, it's becoming a master in it. And I'm going to tell you, we don't become a master overnight. It does take time. It's trial and error. It's seeing what works for you. It's seeing what scenarios come up. It's seeing how to manage an all-inclusive holiday. It's seeing how to manage a week of weddings. And then we're going to get those workouts in, but only if we need to. So a little secret, everyone that we work with doesn't actually work out. Some people will have movement targets, some people will have workouts, they may be working out from home, they may be working out from the gym, but it also depends on what we're working on for their health. So have they got any deficiencies? Are their hormones imbalanced? What's their gut like? What's their digestive system like? What's their sleep like? What's their training history like? Have they actually worked out before, or are you brand new to all of this? Why would you go jump into the deep end if you've not even touched the basics? So what we want to do is work on all of these stages one by one, and then you get to the last phase, which is when you're basically balanced, and then this is where you feel free. This is when this crazy yo-yo that you've been used to in stops. So we then end up getting you to your goal, and then we maintain it. So you'll see there's no ups and downs, there's no craziness, there's no restricting socializing. We make sure that you learn how to eat out and then how to still see progress. You can still eat out, you can still have drinks and lose your belly fat, and you can also still learn to manage your hormones, but you have to understand where your missing parts are, because there's no point working on workouts if we're not doing the bits that are going to get you to your goal. So when it comes to seeing progress, when it comes to making that change, it's all about making that shift, and we want to dive deep. We want to think about, why do you need to make that shift? Why is your goal important to you? And also, what do you value in life? Do you value going out and partying? Do you value your health? Do you value having family time? Or do you value your lovely pug Lola, who is in the background making some awkward sounds, but I think she's just trying to show us that she's here. So when it comes to your journey, when it comes to maintaining it, I want you to remember it's not a quick fix, it is going to be a journey. And when you've got the right cheerleaders, the right support mechanics, the right team who are getting you there, it feels effortless, and then you get out of this crazy yo-yo that I know I was in for over 9 years. I was restricting myself, I was on diets, And all that it meant was it actually made my hormones worse. There's actually evidence to show you can get menopause earlier if you're constantly dieting, and it's so bad for your health. It's not great for your heart, it's not great for your cortisol levels, and it's probably not great for the relationships that you've got around you. So why don't we nail it once and for all? Learn how to stop that yo-yo, stop dieting, and finally make that lifestyle change. I was that person who'd go to afternoon tea and happily eat 2 or 3 plates of it, trying to get the most of my money. And now I'll go to afternoon tea, I will enjoy it, I'll enjoy the moment and everyone I'm with. It doesn't happen overnight, it happens from making that shift. And that shift is the magic that makes everything happen, and it allows you to maintain your progress long run. So comment below if you want any more information, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, as I'll be sharing a whole load of more tips, and even more tips if you're a woman and you have hormones, because a lot of the things out there, you need to make sure it's tailored for you, and it's learning about your body, learning about your estrogen, your testosterone, your progesterone, where you're at in the cycle, and then how to manage cravings, how to manage those snack attacks, how to do everything whilst having a busy life, looking after everyone around you, working, being a successful, driven woman. And it's all about trying to understand this in a lot more detail. So thank you for listening, and comment below on your thoughts.